If you feel a tiny wince before you share your website link, that's not insecurity showing up. It's actually a credibility gap. And it usually comes from leaks in 4 places. And I'm going to share those with you in this video. If we haven't met yet, my name is Meg. I'm the founder of Purpose and Pixel, where I specialize in Squarespace web design, SEO, and AI imagery. So most websites don't lose clients or leads because they're bad websites. They lose them a lot of the time because the trust that you're trying to instill in your potential customers leaks out in small but fixable ways. And when we're talking about trust, we're talking about your credibility. And credibility doesn't disappear in one big moment, it leaks. And I tend to try to look for those leaks in 4 places. In terms of clarity, proof, path, and presence. And I'll explain exactly what I mean for each of those. When we're talking about clarity, we're talking about, does your customer instantly understand what you do and who it's for when they land on your website? In terms of proof, we're looking to be able to show them, can they believe in what you deliver? And when we're talking about path, it's about their customer journey through your website. Do they know what to do next so that they can find what they need on your website? And finally, presence. This is about how your website presents you. Is it aligned with your expertise? And does it support the credibility that you've earned? So let's start with number 1, clarity. Here are a few signs that could be showing where you might be having some leaks in your credibility related to the clarity of your website. Let's start first by talking about your headline. Is it specific or is it generic and could belong to 5 different businesses? Can your potential customer tell who your website and your services are for within 5 seconds of landing on your website? Is the outcome that you list in your headline too vague? You want to be specific. You want to speak directly to your ideal client right from the get-go. They need to know right away that they're in the right place and that you're the person for them. So here's a 30-second quick fix that you can try if you think that your headline might not be hitting the mark. Just try to rewrite the first 2 lines of your homepage, the hero section, and make sure that it answers who your services are for and what outcome you deliver. Remember, if someone has to figure that out, they won't. They're just going to move on. Now let's talk about proof. The evidence that you have earned your credibility, that you have earned your expertise, and that you are the right person for them. This can come in the form of testimonials from past clients, from interviews you've done in media publications or podcasts. It can also be your credentials to certifications or licenses that you've earned. These are all different ways of showing proof to your potential customers that you are the expert that they need. So what are some signs that your proof factors are not up to snuff? When you have testimonials, they exist, but they're buried. They aren't showing up prominently on your website. Or it might be very generic. It's great if you have a testimonial or somebody says, I really loved working with so-and-so. It was a great experience, but without saying why or what the outcome was that they got. It's just too generic and too vague and just doesn't ring true. And there's nothing there that's signaling people to say, people like me hire her. So a quick fix for this. Take a look at your homepage and your services page. Make sure you have at least 1 solid piece of proof above the fold, if possible, on your homepage, and also on your services page. Make sure that you have those next to your services. They should sit where decisions happen. You don't want them only on a page that nobody clicks on a regular basis. They're not doing the service that you need them to do to help your clients know this is the person I need to hire. Now let's talk about path. I also think of this as the customer journey. On our websites, we need to provide a clear path for our potential clients for how they need to navigate through our website to get them to the information that they're looking for and ideally to book our services. Here are some signs that maybe this isn't dialed in on your website. 1, you might have way too many calls to actions, too many buttons that say book, download, follow here, contact me here. If you have too many, it can get confusing. You don't want so many on one page that are differing, because that can confuse your potential customers as to where they should be going and what they need next. Additionally, You want to make sure that your services don't read like a menu without any guidance. If you're just listing out your services without providing any clear instruction with where they need to go or which service might be the right one for them, you need to clarify that. Can't assume that they're going to read your menu and just know automatically what they should order. And finally, you might be lacking an obvious start here place on your website. Some websites can just meander and not provide a clear path. So you need to make sure that when a customer lands on your page, whether that's your home page or a services page, it's very clear why they're there and where they need to go next. So here's a quick fix to start trying to dial this in if you think this may be one of your issues. Let's talk about your calls to actions or your buttons. You want to pick one primary next step, so one consistent call to action, and repeat that consistently on your page. Whether it's your home page, your services, your contact page, don't give them too many choices because that will confuse them. Remember, consistency is a trust signal. Finally, let's talk about presence. And when I'm referring to presence, that is how your website presents you and your business. Is it aligned with you and your business and your values and your message? Is it consistent? Does it support that expertise and that credibility that you've worked so hard to earn? And potential signs that it may not be is if your site feels very busy or chaotic. So things like if your site has too many things going on, tons of images, lots of text, just a lot of things competing with each other, that can be a sign that you've got a bit of a credibility leak happening there. Also, taking a look at just your visuals. Are they consistent with your brand, with your message, or do they feel dated or not up to the same level as your expertise demands? And take a look at the tone of your copy. Is it speaking in your voice? Does it really reflect you? Or does it sound trendy or AI generated or too much like everybody else in your industry? That can give off signals that you're maybe not really well established or not highly confident in what you're doing. You want your website to stand out. You want it to live up to your expertise and to have presence that you command. So the quick fix I'd like you to try here, if you think this is a problem, you want to look at your website and look for anything that might be causing too much noise and remove one layer of that noise. That could be fewer competing elements, maybe images that don't have a consistent style or have one visual direction, and taking a look at the spacing across your website, looking at how your images and the copy on your website is spaced out. If you have a lot of pieces that are all crammed together without any breathing room, or as we call white space, it can be stressful and tiring for somebody to want to go through. So think about making sure that your pages have some room to breathe, where there's white space between images and copy from one section to the next, to give your visitors' eyes a chance to relax, to take it in, and to build more of a calmer, more enjoyable experience to scroll through your website. So let's recap and take a step back for a moment. What if you think that you have more than one of these things going on, or you're not sure? Take 10 minutes and go through and take a look at each of them. So here's how you do that. We're going to start with clarity. Just look at the first two lines, that headline paragraph on your page, and rewrite the first two lines. What do you do? Who do you serve? What results do you deliver? Then look for signs of proof. Make sure you have at least one piece of proof above the fold if possible or very near it, so it's seen early in your customer's journey through your website. Next, you want to look at your paths. What's the journey, the path you want your customers to take? Look for those CTAs, your buttons, and choose one that's clear and repeat it consistently on the page. Now, this doesn't mean that you can never have a different call to action on a button. What you want to avoid is having every button have a different call to action on your page. Consistency creates trust. It reinforces where you want them to go. And finally, presence. Making sure that your website supports the expertise and the credibility it earned, that it is aligned with you, your brand, and your messaging. And adjust or remove anything that doesn't support that. Maybe it's just feeling too busy or chaotic because there's too many elements on the page. Maybe you just need to space some things out a little bit more freely. Or maybe you have copy that isn't in your voice anymore, that needs to be updated so that it speaks from you and doesn't sound too generic or like everybody else in your industry. Finally, just from a visual perspective, maybe your images need to be updated or to be more consistent. And if you just fix one thing in each of those, you're on your way to making some really important updates that are going to help boost your credibility and stop some of those leaks that may cause you to be losing some clients before they get a chance to truly appreciate the expertise that you have earned. Now, if this is something you think maybe you're not quite ready yet to take on all on your own, and you'd like the help of some calm and expert eyes to help you find out where you might be experiencing credibility leaks, I've dropped some links in the description of how you can work with me, whether you're looking for a quick diagnosis and advice on how to proceed, or whether you're looking to build a website that matches the expertise and credibility that you've earned. If you have any questions about this video or anything I covered in it, please feel free to drop me a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.